3, 2, 1.
Hi there, Sam here, just enjoying some nice California sunshine. Got a bit of a reprieve from the wildfire smoke that we've been dealing with lately, and yeah, I just wanted to share some ideas about what I'm trying to do with this channel, and what I hope to share with you all. And basically I wanted to talk about running form. So my job is to convince you guys, for those of you who share like the common perception among the running community and running industry, which is that you know, how we run is how we run, and it's a product of our body type and our fitness, and we shouldn't try and change it because we might injure ourselves or something along those lines. So, I mean, what I want to share is that my approach is different from that, and it's because I've been coming from a multi-sport background. I started with triathlon and different like open water swimming and mountain biking, and I've done adventure racing as well, with kayaking as well. So I've had to pick up a range of sports, and every time I've picked up a sport, I've learned how to do that sport well in terms of technique. And I haven't treated running any different. So I've always been interested, since 2009 when I learned about Chi running by Danny Dreyer, interested in how can I run more efficiently and more effectively. And so there is a way that you can run more efficiently. And basically what I want to show you is how to run like you would have run when you were a kid. So, you know, in my previous video you would have seen some images of my 3-year-old running around barefoot and how he runs. And I would say he's got pretty awesome running form. And he loves running, he runs around all day, he loves it. And I think in general kids do. So what's the difference when we become adults and start running and we try and train for a marathon, for example, or something like that? And I would say that the difference is our posture is probably the one big thing, and our you know, we've developed postural habits in terms of like we get a little bit more hunched over, you know, like texting position that people talk about. We get shortened hip flexors from sitting down so much, and we often are wearing shoes which have like a large heel, for example, raise us up on our heels, and so the product of having shortened hip flexors and raised heels is us starting to throw our legs out in front of us instead of rather getting our stride behind us. And so what does that mean? It means that we actually start developing braking forces with each step, and we develop large impact forces through our legs. And so, you know, in running these days, we commonly see people getting knee problems, or we get ITB problems, or we get shin splints, and all sorts of different issues. And these are all products of having poor posture and poor stride. And no one's guilty of doing the wrong thing. Everyone just does what, you know, seems to come naturally to them. But what comes naturally to us when we're in this sort of artificial environment is not what should come naturally to us. If, for example, like the Africans, we spent a lot more time walking around, you know, spending a lot more time standing up, and you know, being, you know, in more in contact with the ground more often. And so the big difference is that, and this is something I've learned this year, I've been running for 15 years, but I've actually changed how I ran significantly this year. And I have set PRs in, you know, 5K, 10K, half marathon and marathon all this year, and I'm 38. So it just goes to show that you can do it at any age. And I'm not an anomaly. I've taught this to other people and had very similar results. Had had a guy, friend of mine who I want to interview for this channel, Kyle, do an Ironman, and he thrashed himself on the bike. Said he felt like not good at all coming off the bike. Went into the marathon at the end of the bike going, oh, this is going to suck and I don't think I'm going to do it. And he's not necessarily the fastest runner in the world. And especially after having ridden 112 miles, you wouldn't expect him to be. But he still managed to run consistently and finish in like 3 hours 40 on the marathon, which he said very much surprised him. So I'll be very interested to interview him and share his experiences as well. And he's not alone. Like, I get these sorts of things often. And really all I want to teach you guys is how you can minimize or stop overstriding, and how you can start engaging your glutes and getting some power in your stride behind you through that hip extension. And if you don't practice, you don't do drills and so on, then this isn't just going to happen by itself. It's not going to happen as you get fitter. It's something that you have to consciously try. And what I have developed in workshops that I've taught and so forth is like some simple processes that you can go through to develop this for yourself and make this part of your running. And you know, the impacts are potentially huge. You know, I learned this technique in terms of like the form from Keith Bateman, who's a former Masters record holder in 10K, 5K, all the way down like to short distances like a mile. And he was at 55 running like a sub 32 minute 10K. And if you want to look him up, look up Old Yet Faster. He teaches the same sort of form that I do, I just teach it in a different way. And there are many others teaching very similar things. So yeah, this is the difference. Is I want to share it to you guys for free on my channel, and I want to get as many people running well with less injury as I can, and really start a movement to really like revolutionize how everybody runs and experiences running. So watch out for the next video where I'll share some tips on small things that you can start trying in your running to try and bring this into your running. I guarantee that anything you do that I sort of suggest is only going to improve your running experience, and you're not going to get injured from it. You can do it a bit at a time, you can do it a lot at a time. You don't have to change your shoes if you don't want to. You know, it's very much like just going to be like a range of things that you can do to improve how you run and your experience with running. And I want to share it with you. I'd love to get questions from you guys, and I'm definitely want to interview more people about their experiences with it. And yeah, let's make it happen.